welcome to this, and the video quality on this might be really bad because, I don't know, my computer's being strange. But, anyways, let's just talk about a couple things. Let's start off with, the video's going to be about Tyler Black and ROH, but before I start, let me just say this. If you're on Twitter, if you happen to come across where someone has started following you, or if you're following someone by the following name, Truthslayer 1974, that is not me. I don't know why someone would want to do that, but I guess someone decided that they thought it would be cool to use that as a Twitter name and pretend to be me. But just so everybody knows, if you can get that out there, let everybody know that that is not me. Block him, do whatever you want, but that's not me. So if you think that you're following me, or if you think that you found me on Twitter, you didn't. So later. So Tyler Black has apparently signed a developmental deal with WWE. People probably want me to come on here and go crazy and do all this stuff. I didn't do that when you know, Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness signed with WWE. I actually did a video saying it was about time, and I did think it was about time that both of them, you know, got signed, because I thought that both of them should have been signed quite a while ago. But and neither of them are currently in the WWE, oddly enough. But Tyler Black apparently got signed, and I know some people, I haven't really checked to see what a lot of people's thoughts are, but I'm sure some people are probably kind of, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But to me, more power to him. I mean, let's face it, a WWE developmental deal is still, you know, is still better than, financially, still better than a Ring of Honor contract. For the most part, and in a lot of ways, it's better than a TNA contract. If you're, you know, a mid-card or probably a lower mid-card guy. So there's that too. Less dates, more money. Hey, you know, you can't turn that down. So I don't begrudge him any. It'll be interesting to see what Ring of Honor does. Apparently he doesn't start until, I think, the end of September. And so he'll definitely go through Glory by Honor. I wouldn't be surprised if Glory by Honor is his last night. And, you know, Ring of Honor had not announced a main event, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, just what the main event was that they choose to be. I think maybe this is maybe why, because they kind of knew this was coming, so they waited to see just what was going to happen before they said what the main event and what the World Championship match was going to be. So now we know, so now we'll find out, and we'll go from there. And just like when, you know, Danielson and Nigel McGuinness, Desmond Wolfe, if you will, left Ring of Honor, I'll say the same thing. Ring of Honor's biggest obstacle from here on out is going to be finding talent, replacing talent, because their talent's gonna get signed. You know, JR, probably a year and a half ago, I think, said that he thought WWE should use Ring of Honor the same way that WWE used to use ECW, and that, you know, send guys down there that needed more work, or send guys there that, you know, needed new gimmicks, or this and the or that. Really try to, you know, use that as kind of a go-between. You know, basically bearing the developmental, which I believe at the time had just started being Florida Championship Wrestling, because they've really, you know, to me, FCW just sucks for developmental. I think they just need to keep getting away with it. And I also think this, you know, that might be one of the reasons why we've seen, for those of you who don't know, kind of a partnership between OVW and ROH. Not that OVW is what it once was, but, you know, they still have a school and they're still training guys, and so that might be one of the reasons, is so that they can feed, you know, guys that are in OVW and bring them into Ring of Honor, that sort of thing. So, so there's that, and so we'll have to wait and see. I definitely think that is, you know, Ring of Honor's biggest thing is going to be finding talent to replace talent as talent comes in, because they're the number they're the number 3, and they're really not the number 3, because really, you know, they're still, I wouldn't say they're an indie per se, but they're not mainstream either. They're kind of in between, and you know, you basically have one super number 1 right now. You've got a number 2, which is, you know, so far from number 1 it's not funny, And the distance between, and I'm not saying this to bury TNA, I'm basically saying, and just as the truth of the matter, the distance between WWE and TNA is probably a lot more than the distance between Ring of Honor and TNA. And, right, TNA between WWE and ROH versus, it's probably, and it's still pretty substantial between, I would say, Ring of Honor and TNA in some regards. So, there's that. And, so they're a number 3, but they're such as Lagana had said, he said sometime this week on one of the audios that he did this week leading up to Hardcore Justice. They're a number 3 on a number 10 promotions budget. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. So you got that, and that's what they're going to have to do. Now, if for the Ring of Honor fans and for the people that hate Ring of Honor and want Ring of Honor to go away, as far as Doomsday Ring of Honor stuff, this to me isn't as much Doomsday as for those of you not aware, there's this secret. It's not so secret, but this secret Florida promotion, which has been which I guess is backed by, I think it's the Mets, the New York Mets owner, that's apparently going to start up sometime at the beginning of next year. I guess if they get a TV deal, I guess that's the big if they can get a TV deal. And they've already signed a lot of Ring of Honor's talent, so that would probably do more to hurt Ring of Honor, I think, than anything else, because historically, since pro wrestling has kind of started, as far as national promotions, and WWE made its expansion, and Crockett made their expansion for the NWA and World Class, and then AWA had to kind of follow suit. Being the number 4 promotion sucks ass in the U.S. It just blows. There's never been a big, being number 3 isn't the greatest thing in the world, historically, and being number 4 is even that much worse. So, that is more troubling to Ring of Honor if that happens, in my opinion. But have to wait and see on that. But to me, that's more troubling. The one thing that, and I think this is the test that, the Ring of Honor Brain Trust will have to get through is how good of a judge of talent are they. I would say that is the one thing that, more so than the booking, because I've said before, I wasn't really happy with Gabe's booking. Probably a year, maybe a year and a half. Even though he was still putting on great shows, there were still lots of things I didn't like. And I believe I even said on one of my videos that I thought they should bring in someone else to work with Gabe. And then come to find out, Gabe doesn't like working with people, which, totally blows. But it's probably one of the reasons why he was fired. As opposed to now, where you have, you have Adam Pearce, who, Pearce listens to Cornette a lot, and him and Cornette really back and forth. And I always think that's better when you have two people who can kind of just go back and forth and throw ideas off of each other and try to figure out what works and what doesn't work. But and Cornette, don't get me wrong, Cornette books a lot of Ring of Honor now. Probably show to show, particularly the house shows, it's more Pierce. But as far as but Cornette does a lot of booking now. That's just to throw that out there. But that's going to be the thing: is can they replace talent? Can they find talent? Are they going to be good judges of talent? I think Gabe is a very good judge of talent. Particularly for a company like Ring of Honor. I'm not big on Evolve, and I'm not. And I'm not big on a lot of the guys they brought in for Dragon Gate when it comes to the non-Dragon Gate talent. But I definitely think, when people say, oh, TNA should hire Gabe, well, yeah, maybe they should, but it shouldn't be as a booker. It should be as a talent scout. I think he'd be really good at that, even if it was for a mainstream promotion. I think he could, still find guys that a mainstream promotion could use and would fit in a mainstream promotion. So, to me, that's where they miss Gabe the most, and I think that's where they will miss Gabe the most because of that. But there's that. That's all I really have to say about that. I just wanted to come on here and say that. And I know a lot of people are going to ask me about Hardcore Justice. I haven't seen it. Don't plan on seeing it. From everything I've heard, I know people are going to say, "Oh, you just heard from people on here." No, I haven't. Just from what I read about it and what happened, did not look like something that, even if it was kind of fun, it still didn't sound like something I would enjoy. One Night Stand to me is still a much better, send off than this was. But I will say this, and this is the one thing I will say. Imagine if, Bret Hart comes back, he's going to feud with Steve Austin, or not Steve Austin, with Vince McMahon, and we're finally going to get this feud. We're finally going to get this feud we've waited for. We're finally going to get finality. We're finally going to get the end of all of this. And at WrestleMania, Vince wins. That'd work out real well, wouldn't it? Just saying. Those of you that kind of got what I was saying. Some of you completely over your head, I'm sure. But anyways, with that, I'm out. Have a good one later.